in the face of Superman.
Welcome, everyone. This is Russ Scalzo, Chronicles of the End Times. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to talk more about the AI situation, and we're discovering more and more as each day and week and month goes by that as much as we would like to dismiss it, all the cries that are coming out from some very intelligent people that work with AI at the highest level, and how close we are to the coming of the Antichrist and true global dominance. The blessing in this is that Jesus Christ is coming soon. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about this for a long time, and I think when people talk about the coming of Christ now and they hear about it, those that love the Lord, we still get excited about the thought of this world changing for the better and God coming to relieve us from all the anxiety and the pain that this world can bring. But I feel many people, and I've talked to Christians that said, the Lord might not come for another 200 years. And if you're following the news and if you're following technology, can you imagine 200 years from now? I don't even want to think about it. I won't be here to think about it. So let's talk about an interview that I saw recently. Tristan Harris, some of you may know who he is, ex-Google insider who exposed social media in the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. I hope a lot of you saw that. That was revealing and disturbing at the same time, where he revealed how it is changing and molding us, and how the algorithm is changing us and instructing us on what is good, what is not, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. We're now a lot further along than that since it came out in 2020. Our kids, our grandkids, and ourselves are being shaped by AI. Now, we may not want to think that way, but if we can clear our heads for a minute, we can see that it's true. Those things are happening to us. They're molding us and shaping us. It's not new. We've all talked about it many times. You're on your phone, you Google something, or you're looking something up on Amazon or somewhere else, and if your TV's on, all of a sudden, a couple of minutes later, the advertisement's out. Exact same thing you're looking for. It's called good advertising, I guess, but the reality is Big Brother is listening, and Big Brother is getting a little too big and a little too deceptive for my blood. So, what does he come out and say now in this interview? Of course, he's still underlying all the things that he talked about, all the dangers that impact humans: psychological manipulation, sensationalism, outrage, conspiracy theories. All these things are affecting our mental health. And we know that social media has put a microphone in front of millions of people that we should never have heard from. But now we do. And everybody's an authority, even though they never read the whole article, just the headline. So it's taken away our mental ability to comprehend things, to have a desire to look into things. When we're on our phones, all we do is scroll, looking for the next thrill, looking for the next thing, whether you're looking for something that you shouldn't be looking for, or you're just looking at pretty little animal things and funny little videos. So what is the outcome of this? Why am I rehashing things we may have talked about before? What he's saying now is that we're not ready for not what's coming in 2030 or 2035. We're not ready for what's coming next year. I want you to listen to a piece of this interview, and when you look at it through the biblical lens of prophecy, it'll blow your mind.
There's a parallel to the resource curse that, again, the authors Luke Drago and Rudolph Lane wrote about, called the intelligence curse. So what happens, and this is not that hypothetical, where a couple years from now, much of the GDP growth coming in this country is coming from AI. Let's say like 50% or 70% is coming from AI. Do I have any incentive to invest in the education, healthcare, childcare, development, safety of my people? No.
Right.
And the companies don't need you for their labor anymore, so your bargaining power went away. And the governments don't need you for tax revenue because that's not where they're getting the GDP growth. So it's not just that you aren't investing in your people, it's that your people lose political power. I mean, we're furthering down the trajectory of mass joblessness, which maybe we should just briefly articulate why there's always this narrative. It's just important to debunk these common myths, which are essentially forms of motivated reasoning and looking for comfort. We're comfort seeking, not truth seeking. So one of the ways we're comfort seeking is like, hey, there's a narrative out there that 200 years ago, all of us were farmers, and now only 2% of whatever the population is a farmer, and we always find something new to do. The tractor came along, we have the elevator man. We used to have the elevator man, now we have the automated elevator. We used to have bank tellers, have automated teller machines. Jeff Hinton was wrong about radiology, blah, 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 blah. What's different about AI is that this kind of artificial general intelligence is that it will automate all forms of human cognitive labor all at the same time, or roughly progressing on that trajectory. And obviously there's going to be things that we still value in this new world that are human-to-human interaction. A nurse. We don't want a robot nurse. We want a human nurse. And we can definitely train more nurses. And so I don't want to say that it's 100% of all automation is going to happen. But the goal of these companies is not to augment human work. This is so critical for people to get. You heard J.D. Vance say in the speech when he first came into office at the first AI summit in France, and he said, AI will augment the American worker. It's going to support workers to be more productive. But what is the business model of OpenAI and Anthropic and these other companies? If we're again using this Charlie Munger incentive framework to predict their choices, like what is their business model? And people say, oh, okay, there I am using ChatGPT. What's their business model? How do they make money? Oh, I pay them $20 a month for the subscription. That must be how they're going to make money. But that's actually not what it is, because the $20 a month, if everybody paid it, that would not make up all the money in debt that they've taken on as a company. Right. It wouldn't work. Okay, so that's not out. So what's the next one? What about advertising? Let's do the Google thing. Let's do mass advertising for all these AI models embedded in the results. We're going to have, this is going to be the new search. Search is one of the most profitable business models in the world. Maybe that will do it, but that doesn't also make back the amount of money these companies have taken on. The only thing that makes back the amount of money these companies have taken on is to replace all human economic labor, to take over the $50 trillion labor economy. That is the prize. It's artificial general intelligence, which means replacing human work, not augmenting human work.
So people that want to believe that we're going to this utopia in which we don't have to do anything, that money will be given to us because our countries and the nations are going to be making so much money, trillions of dollars, that they're going to distribute that wealth to make sure everybody's okay, while we play golf or paint or take up some other hobby and just enjoy life. Can you think of a better scenario that fits into the mark of the beast? When 4 or 5 trillionaires, multi-trillionaires, control all the AI, control all the money in the world, and distribute what they feel is necessary for you and I. Tell me, when have you ever seen that happen? In America, we have some great programs. They're not perfect, but we have some good ones. But in the rest of the world, have you seen that happen? That's why there's starvation all over the world, because of war, because of lust for power and for land. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I spend a lot of time creating things, creating videos for different authors. I use AI for several different things, more than research. That's all well and good, and that's how it's being touted right now. Oh, it's going to help mankind. This is going to be great. We're all going to be making money because now we have all these different agents. We can have an agent doing this and an agent doing that, and we don't have to pay them. Eventually, all those agents learn all the nuances that you're coming up with and multiply that by everyone who's using it. Who's going to pay you or me to do a job or to think through something and come up with a concept that might take us, I don't know, a day, 2 days, maybe a week, depending on what it is that we're asked to do, when they can just go to Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the other ones that are being created and worked on even as we speak. I want to bring one more thing up before we say goodbye today, and this is very important. All these things are happening at every level conceivable. Now, we're just not talking about technology, right? Now, technology is influencing people. We are seeing a revolt against what made America. We are seeing the seeds of hate planted by the enemy in people's brains, and thanks to AI, they get multiplied by those people. And then the AI picks up on it and says, oh, you like to talk about that? You like to talk about people that you hate? Here's more people that you can hate. And here's some other people that you can agree with and you can hate together. It's a disease. It's like a cancer that's spreading. Yes, America is not perfect. But why does everyone want to come here? Because America works. It has problems, but America works. Europe is falling apart. They had all these great ideals. Free medical, free schooling, everything's free. Now they're broke. Their GDP is falling. Listen, if you have a spot on your arm that needs to be dealt with, because it could be a cancer, it could be something, you don't chop your arm off at your shoulder. And that's the way it is here in the U.S. Yeah, let's deal with some situations, but let's not cut off everything that works. The sad part is, if you study Bible prophecy like I have and so many others, America at some point in time will back the globalists, and that will move us quickly towards a one-world economy, towards AI controlling everything, and then it's just a matter of time. I brought up socialism before. Doesn't this sound like socialism? Doesn't it sound like communism? Of course it does. It's a way to destroy the desire of people. There's nothing to conquer. There's nothing to do. There's nothing that's going to bring you pride in yourself. And there's nothing that's going to lift you up because you're going to do nothing. You're going to get a handout. This is what the Antichrist is. It's the same model. Because what is it all about? And you and I know it. It's all about control. So the battle of the ages is right before us. And that battle will continue and rage on until he takes his church out of here and he begins to deal with Israel and a fallen world. So let's not sit on top of the roof with a picnic basket and wait for Jesus. That's not the plan. Praying for you all. Want to encourage you. Allow God to use you in ways you never dreamed possible. His hand is outstretched to us all. Father, lead us and guide us and keep us and strengthen us and open our eyes that we might see the army of God all around us. This is Russ Scalzo for Chronicles of the End Times. Keep looking up. The King is coming.